Welcome to Nitro's Kart-a-Thon, a marathon series where I will review 5 kart racers over the course of the next 5 videos. In today's video, we'll be kicking off this marathon with Chocobo Racing, released in 1999 for the Sony PlayStation. Roll the intro. Chocobo Racing is a fun kart racer that features Chocobo, Moogle, Behemoth, and many other characters from the Final Fantasy series. Now, I don't play RPGs, but with a game like this, you don't have to. This game was inspired by the Final Fantasy VII minigame under the same name. Squaresoft decided to make a kart racer starring the creepy-looking creature, but in his own series, he was given a more appealing design for the general audience. The same goes for some of the other characters.
But that's to be expected. Kart racers are meant to attract casual players, so that would kind of be impossible if your character looked like this. Now, I saw this game on YouTube some time ago. I don't exactly remember when, but my curiosity grew, so I'm keen to see what this game is all about. Now, I'm holding a copy of the NTSC-J version of this game because...
Are you fucking kidding me?
And while I am able to play this on my region-free hacked PS2, I can't understand any of the Japanese text, so I'll be using a burned copy of the NTSC-U version. Now, let's dive in.
The first thing I did was go to the options menu. It was there where I saw that the gas was mapped to square and the brake was mapped to X. A bit weird, but then I figured out that this is one of those games where holding the brakes while turning makes you drift. So I mapped the gas to X, the brake to R1, and the magic button to circle to emulate Crash Team Racing. If you drift in one direction for too long, you'll spin out. However, if you let go of accelerate and time it just right, you'll get a recovery boost. This game features a story mode that really isn't anything too special. It begins with Sid giving Chocobo a fancy pair of jet blades, and lets him give them a test drive on his track. Afterwards, Moogle shows up. I remember seeing him in Mario Sports Mix. He wants a racing machine of his own, so he can become the hero of the story and the game can be called Moogle Racing.
Yeah, he's one of those characters.
The next morning, he returns to see his new machine, and he isn't too pleased about how it turned out. Regardless, he invites Chocobo to his track that he made. After beating Moogle, he and Chocobo discover a blue crystal on Chocobo's leg, giving him his dash ability. Chocobo and Moogle then go on a quest to find the remaining crystals. That's basically how each cutscene plays out. You encounter a new character, race them, they join your quest, wash, rinse, and repeat. Each track adds a new magic power. These are essentially the items that you launch onto other racers. You also have a special ability you can use once the meter on the top left is full. Really, the only one you have to worry about is Dash. The characters you encounter can range anywhere from an Australian goblin, you fucking racists, to a not so intimidating behemoth. I remember him looking a lot more menacing. The final race takes place in Fantasia. The Magicite shards come together to reveal its location, as well as the Dragon Guardian, Lord Bahamut. If I'm not saying that right, please tell me. This last track is tough, man. There's a lot of tight corners that can stump even the most experienced player. Once you manage to beat Bahamut, he promises to watch over the world and keep the peace. Yeah, this game's backstory is pretty deep for a kart racer. Then again, it is a Squaresoft game. The credits play along with some cute animations and a very tearjerker of a song. Seriously, it's that good. After completing the story mode, you will unlock Bahamut, and you will receive a score depending on how fast you finished. Your score is the amount of stat points you can use on a custom character of your choosing. You pick a character, pick a color, then customize them as you see fit. Complete the story a second time to challenge and eventually unlock Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, along with his track. Oh, by the way, you can make the story mode 10 times easier by turning on the handicap. The handicap increases your overall stats. Complete the story 8 more times to unlock different skins for Squall, including Cloud, Cactuar, and the fucking ship from Final Fantasy VI. So it is nice to see some form of replayability here. Outside of the story mode are your basic run-of-the-mill modes, including time trials and Grand Prix. Beating every track in Grand Prix on every class unlocks Mirror Mode. There are 10 tracks in total, and you get to pick which 4 you want to race in the Grand Prix. Sadly, there is no battle mode to comment on. However, there is Versus Mode. Here you race one-on-one with either the CPU or a friend. You can even have 2 CPUs race each other if you wanted to. There is also Relay Mode. It's the same thing, except you split into 2 teams of 3.
And yes, I did say a friend because this game has 2-player multiplayer.
The Grand Prix, Versus, and Relay modes can be played with a friend. Glitch and I spent about 15 minutes playing this game together. He helped me get multiplayer footage for all the games in this marathon. The environments in each track look pretty good. I'm not a fan of the characters being sprite animations, but that was more or less an artistic choice made by Squaresoft. The controls take a bit to get used to, like any game. It definitely takes some getting used to how you drift. Honestly, there isn't much I can say about the controls in a review. I know it's kinda cliche to say, play the game for yourself to see how it controls, but that is the truth. And sometimes, the truth is boring. The soundtrack is pretty good in this game. Each track has their own song, and they're all very pleasant on the ears. Take a quick listen. Good stuff. There is also a sound test in the options menu, which is pretty nice. There really isn't much else to say about this game. It is a nice little gem though. The story doesn't outstay its welcome, the soundtrack is good, the tracks are fun to race on except for Final Fantasy VIII Circuit, and the controls are a bit on the finicky side, but thankfully most of the track designs compensate for it. Overall, I enjoyed my time with Chocobo Racing. I'll be giving it a 6 out of 10. I've contemplated that score for a little while, but I settled on it because I don't think I'd be doing this game enough justice if I gave it a 5. So it gets a 6. Now I am aware of Chocobo GP on the Switch, and I may check it out sometime if people want me to, but only time will tell for that game.
Alright, we're off to a pretty good start to the marathon. This makes me even more excited to talk about the rest of the games I have lined up. So be sure to tune into the next episode when we take a look at Speed Freaks. Oh, wait, this says Speed Punks. That's odd. I could have sworn this game was called Speed Freaks. Well, maybe we'll find out why the name got changed next time. Hang on, I feel like I'm missing something. Strange. This is normally when Nitro steps in. I wonder where he is. I have literally been standing here the entire time. No, you haven't. No, I haven't. You got anything to say? No. Of course you don't. Get out. Very good. Now, what was I talking about?